Hi, guys, welcome back to the Good Part Podcast. Hopefully, the best part of your day. Okay, my name is Amanda, and I'm here without Leticia today. She typically records with me. If you haven't watched my channel, then this is irrelevant to you, but anyways, I have a new background today, which I am so excited about. I'm looking at my camera. We have some of the same elements from our very first background. We changed a lot. We jumped from my old apartment to a room inside of our church. I really like that brick wall, so that will be missed. But I moved into a new place, and my books stayed inside of the boxes for I think at least 3 months. And then shout out to my cousin. He was also moving and decided to give me some of the furniture from his previous place, and it just happened to go perfectly with the rest of the furniture that I had. And so this was a win-win for both of us. Okay, so now we have our new background. I hope you like it. I'm super excited about it. I love when things just feel cute and cozy. I even have these rechargeable lamps. I don't know why I'm going off about this, but you know, I think after you hit a certain age, you just start getting excited about things like Costco, decoration, mops, It's embarrassing, but I be talking to some of my friends that are in completely different seasons of their lives, like still in college and whatnot. And they ask me like, oh, okay, my brother, for example, oh my goodness, my brother's in college. He does the most random things. He has a lot of free time, not my case, okay? And once he called me and he was so excited to talk to me, and he was like, okay, what's been going on with you? What's new? And I took a serious moment to think about that. And I was like, okay, Gabriel, I don't think I have anything that will interest you right now. Like, all I've been doing is cleaning, decorating, working, which I'm really excited about all of these things, but I don't think it's gonna impress you. So why don't you just go ahead and tell me about the concerts that you've been to, or the random spots you've been studying at, because I'm sure you don't want to hear about this. But anyway, I do, so y'all get to see it with me. Okay, and what we're talking about today kind of ties into this idea of perception, right? And what I want to talk about today is success. What does it mean to be successful, to have success? What is and what isn't success? And I think this is a really important conversation, because sometimes I hear this so much. People feeling the imposter syndrome, right? Especially when you're at school. Maybe you get into a great school, and then now the classes start and it's hard, and you feel like you're failing, and you feel like you're cheating, and like you're about to be discovered at any moment, and they're gonna kick you out because you're not that qualified. Or maybe for the new job that you just got, you feel like you are not qualified. You feel like you lack success, right? And so I think it's important for us to take a moment always and redefine these ideas. These are words that we think we have very set and established in our minds. But then when we get asked, like, what is success? Are you successful? What would it mean for you to become a successful person? We find that our answers are not right, or maybe they're a little shallow, or they don't represent reality, right? And so I always like to give myself a little reality check, and I'll do that for you, okay? I have great people. I love talking to my mom. Every time I need a reality check or a motivational speech, okay, I go to her, and I have some friends that will do the same for me. But some people don't, and so I got you, okay? I will give you a reality check. I will give you a pep talk. I can talk for hours. I won't today, but I can, okay? Yep, trust me. So let's talk about what defines success. The first thing that I wanted to say is that success is quantitative. It's not qualitative. And this is me showing off what I learned from my psychology classes. Okay, these big words, but don't worry, I will break them down for you. What I mean by it's quantitative and not qualitative is it's about the quality and not the quantity. Duh, obviously. So sometimes we tend to see success in terms of number, right? If we do something in a big scale, then it's successful. If it's not in a big scale, then it's not successful. So my podcast, for example, right? I mean, I started this channel not too long ago, and you see that I have not been that consistent. So obviously the channel has not grown yet, or not as much as I wanted to. And so I asked myself, am I successful? Is what I'm doing successful, or is it not? So if you're thinking of success in a quantitative way, meaning numbers, you're just looking at how many subscribers I have, how many views I have, how many likes I have, then you're gonna see the cup half full. If I don't have this many subscribers, this many views, this many likes, then I am not successful. But if you think about quality, like, is my message actually affecting somebody, then maybe you're gonna find that your cup is half full. So my channel's small right now, but I have heard people telling me that they really appreciated the things that Leticia and I talked about. It really helped them. It hit home, they were thinking about these things. They needed to hear this message. And so to me, I consider that a success, because if I can help one person, then I did something huge. I mean, there's so many people that are selfish, that they live their lives for themselves, that they don't do anything for anybody else. To me, success has to be a collective thing. If I'm not helping society, if I'm not benefiting the environment around me, the people around me, my neighborhood, then I'm not being successful, because we live in a whole planet, it's not just about what happens in my life. And so this channel is very successful, if you didn't know. Okay, I define it as successful because I have heard testimonies of people that came to me and said, thank you for recording that episode, I really needed to hear that. To me, that's success. If it's not, then I don't know what it is, So with that, I think it's important for us to think about reaching smaller in order to accomplish more, right? And sometimes we criticize people that they don't dream in a big scale. So let's say you want to be what's an example? Okay, I'll use myself. I love singing. Okay, let's say that you want to be a singer. Sometimes me wanting to be a singer, I might just think about the crowds. Oh, I want my music to be heard in huge stadiums. I want thousands, millions of people to hear my music. I want to do concerts for millions of people, right? If I only think about that and I don't care about the small audiences, then maybe I'm never gonna go play at a restaurant, which will never take me to the stadiums, right? And so I think it's important for us to reach smaller. And I don't mean dream small. You can have big goals. There is a holy ambition, but don't get caught up with the future and only thinking about what you want for the future. If it prevents you from doing something today, right? So this podcast, even if I want the podcast to be big, but I don't want to work for it, I don't want to record videos while there's 5-10 people watching me, then I'm never going to get to hundreds of thousands of followers, right? If I don't do today. So sometimes we have to reach smaller in order to accomplish bigger. That's so important. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is that success is not always obvious, is very easy to miss, right? Because like I said, sometimes our definition of success is only doing things in a large scale. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is that success is not always obvious. A lot of times we miss things that make us successful, right? Because we have definitions of what success should look like. And so maybe, for example, if you are a housewife and you have children and you're taking care of your children and you have a beautiful home, you have a happy marriage, and you're actually happy doing what you are doing, right? But you put in your mind that to be successful means to make a lot of money, right? And so if you are not, you define success as money. And so if you don't have as much money, you say that you are not a successful person. When in reality, you have success right under your nose. You have a happy home. You are a happy person. You have a successful family, kids that love you, that are healthy, a good relationship with your spouse. This is success. Sometimes success is so easy for us to miss, because we compare ourselves with other people all the time. And so it's important that we learn how to find success inside of our lives. You know, I don't want to peak at any moment, to be honest with you. There's people that they peak at a certain moment in life. They peak in high school even. Oh my goodness. And then 20, 30 years later, they haven't done much. They are working, they're living a normal life, but they focused all of their happiness in that environment, in that moment in time when they were in high school, and they had the prettiest girlfriend and all the friends, and maybe they played sports, and so they define that as success. They get trapped inside of this bubble. They don't see the success in their lives today. And so we have to learn how to be content with where we are at. Learn how to recognize success in your life. And another thing, I'm kind of going all over the place with my points, but success is something progressive. It's step by step. Like I said, you don't want to peak at any point. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. I want to accomplish more tomorrow than what I have accomplished today. But if I'm just focusing in the future or in the past and something that already happened with me, then I miss what's right in front of me. And so I think that's why it's so key for us to learn how to be content. So in the Bible, in the New Testament, Paul talks about how he has learned how to be content in every situation. He has learned how to be happy when he has much and when he has little, in abundance and in lack. We have to learn how to be happy, content, satisfied with our lives. Doesn't matter if we have accomplished everything that we set our minds to. Doesn't matter how much money we have, how many material things we have. You will be successful when you can find what is good, what you have going for you at the moment. For yesterday, there's a lot of things that I'm organizing inside of my home because I moved kind of recently, and there's a lot of stuff out of place, and I hate messes. Okay, messes stress me out. My poor husband, I unfortunately lash out on him every now and then if things are messy, and that's not good. Okay, but so what I've been doing, focusing on small tasks. If every day I organize something, then that's success. So yesterday my success was cleaning under my sink. Okay, I did that. That was my success for the day. Today my success is to be here recording because that's something that I wanted to do. And so it's progressive. Success is something that you build. And so I it's like I got a sticker for being good yesterday and cleaning my under the sink, and then today I get another sticker for recording this episode like I wanted to. Every day we have to add new layers of success to our lives. It's not just a one-time event. It's not just something for the future or for the past. It's progressive. Another thing, success is holistic. So there's this verse in the Bible that says that, this is Jesus saying, he said, I came so that you may have life and life in abundance. So the way that I see this is that success is holistic. Jesus came to bring us life and life in abundance. And so everything needs to be in place. And this is not to bring condemnation. This is not to bring pressure or an unrealistic expectation to your life, right? But it's to say God's desire for our lives is that everything be in the right place, is that we be complete fulfilled people. And so what I mean by success being holistic is you need to be successful in your spirit, meaning in your relationship with God. You need to strive for success in your soul, in your emotions, right? So be a balanced person, a person that's stable in their emotions, not going from ups and downs, highs and lows, one day being extremely happy, the other day being extremely sad. And it's important also to talk about success with our physical bodies. If you have accomplished a bunch of things, you have made all the money that you wanted to do, you got to the high position in your company, you graduated from the school that you wanted to attend, but you stress yourself so much that now you're physically sick because you don't go to the gym, you don't feed yourself properly, you don't get enough hours of sleep ever, then you are not successful. And like I said, again, I'm not bringing condemnation to anyone, but this is just things for us to think about. We need to strive to have success be a holistic thing in our lives. It needs to be in my spirit, it needs to be in my soul, and it needs to be seen in my body. I need to be successful in all of these areas. Some people, they pick and choose where they want success. For example, they fight so hard for a career. This is something that we see a lot of women doing nowadays, talking about how they chose a career instead of a family because they felt like they had to pick one or the other. I don't have time to be a CEO and to be a mother. So they went ahead and they picked the CEO aspect, leaving family life behind. I believe that we can have success in everything. The Bible says that there is time for everything, right? But if we don't learn how to discern the season of our lives, then we will never slow down when we need to slow down. And why do you have to slow down? Is it, because the Bible says so, because there's rules? No, it's none of that. But for your own happiness, you need to be fully successful. If we have too much of one thing, too little of another thing, we're not going to be happy at the end of the day. And so this ties into the next point, which is success is, in my opinion, defined by one thing: happiness, right? The Bible talks about how God gives us things. He does things for us to satisfy the desire of our heart. And so in my view, this is the highest form of success, is you being a happy person, right? Because like I said, there's a lot of people that have money. We see so many rich people fighting. They have no peace, they have no joy. We see rich people dying of diseases even, right? Sometimes medicine can't do anything for them, even if you have all the money in the world available at your disposal. And so what does it mean to be truly successful? Is it to be famous? Is it to be rich? Is it to go to the school that you want to? Is it to have the grades that you want to? Or is it to be a happy person, right? And if you can be a happy person and still get good grades and still make a lot of money and still have the career of your dreams, then you're successful. But the point is not these things that you accomplish, it's the peace inside of your heart, or the lack of, right? So find success in your life today. We put so much pressure on ourselves. We feel so anxious all the time, comparing ourselves with other people, or maybe with previous versions of ourselves, right? So I'm not a mother yet, but I've seen a lot of mothers and a lot of videos of people that have children, and then they start sharing how their lives used to be so much better, how they don't sleep anymore, how they don't feel good in their bodies anymore, always thinking about the good old days. And so I'm not saying that what they're going through is not difficult, right? It's a change, it's a shift in your mindset, and it will take some adapting, and that's fine. But the point is, we cannot be stuck to the past. We have to find success today. And success means happiness, success means contentment, success means let me get up, let me pick myself up, let me do things better, let me go to a new level, let me adapt to the life that I have right now, right? Sometimes we just need to be patient. We are in seasons of our lives that are different than previous seasons that you had, that will be different than future seasons. that you will have. But if you don't learn how to be content where you are today, you're not going to be happy tomorrow. I heard this sentence once and I thought it was so interesting. And let me see if I can say it right. It was something like worry or trauma is the excess of past, and anxiety is the excess of future. And so when you think too much about your past, then you get sad, you get worried. When you think too much about your future, then you get anxious. So we cannot live in the past, we cannot live in the future. We have to live in today. What makes me successful in this day? What's gonna make me content this day? What can I accomplish in this day? And it's not about accomplishments, right? It's about peace. What will bring me peace on this day? And so I don't want to drag this on for too long. I know y'all like hearing me, but like I said, I'm a preacher's kid. I can go on for a long time. I'm going to stop right here before I make this into a 2-hour episode. Okay? So thank you so much for being here. This was my success for the day, and I encourage you to turn this phone off and go maybe pick up a piece of paper and write down what makes you successful today, or what are the things that you have been accomplishing, right? What has been making you happy? And you'll see that there's a lot more than you think. Like I said, success is easy for us to miss, but I'm sure that you have it in your life right now. I'm sure that there are good things going for you right now. And that doesn't mean that we cannot have goals for the future and that we cannot have ambition, but we need to be successful today and we need to be successful tomorrow. Okay? So love you all. See you later.